Well, now we're back on the streets with a Brazilian man on a mission. Daniel Bacchieri runs a website called StreetMusicMap. On it, he posts video recordings of street musicians from all over the world. They range from buskers in Bamako to percussionists in Puerto Rico. He told me why.
The street is the most powerful platform to the musician. They can have like a unique feedback, and that's where they really grow up. They try different material, they have different audience, and we have like amazing examples from the past and from the present. When you think like who played in the beginning of the career or who really loved to play in the streets, we're talking about Edith Piaf.
Padam, 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 il arrive en courant derrière moi. Padam, 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 il me fait le coup du souviens-toi.
We're talking about B.B. King, Clapton, Rod Stewart, Beck. And when we think about the present, the great composer and pianist Benjamin Clementine was playing in the metros, in the subway in Paris a few years ago. And in April, I'm gonna see him live at Carnegie Hall.
I walk around the boulevards looking for magicians.
My first insight and my first recording was in Kiev in August 2013. I was in a personal trip and I met a musician playing in a park in Kiev, and he was playing bandura. It's a chord instrument from the Eastern Europe. I thought it was really interesting and I was going to take a picture, but Instagram were able to make videos, so like I decided, well, let's try a video instead of a picture. And I thought it's gonna be fun to keep recording the musicians better than a picture because we're talking about music. So I start to film different musicians, uploading on my personal account.
And you filmed them in Brazil when you got back home, did you?
Yes. After this short trip to Ukraine, I went to São Paulo. Since I live nearby one of the subway stations that gather the most street musicians, then I realized I'm gonna create a short series about musicians on my personal profile. For the last 3 years, I'm daily researching about street music, and the StreetMusicMap right now features 1,240 street musicians from 93 countries.
Wow, and so that means that presumably you haven't visited all those 93 countries. It means that people must have been sending you video as well.
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting characteristic of the project. So friends of mine start to send me videos.
And I think you've made some very interesting connections. I think there was a harpist in Moscow's Red Square who got in touch with you. Can you tell me about her?
It was amazing because I asked the filmmaker, may I share your video? She told me, like, yeah, but I don't know her name. And a few minutes after I shared the video, the musician herself identified in a comment, hey, that's me. This global communication that we can do by music, it is universal because you don't even need to understand the language to enjoy it.
You've been awarded a journalism fellowship and you're running this project from New York City now. Is there an interesting music scene there?
Yes. When you think about where you can find like a lot of talent and different musicians, you think about New York, you think about London, Berlin, and Paris. And it's not just because they are like huge cities, it's because they have like a subway system that works. So like the musician has like this platform to be around.
I've heard that you recorded a former teacher called Alice Tan Ridley. Tell me about her.
She's amazing.
Listen to me, good baby. When I think of all the things that we used to do.
She's been playing the streets of New York for the last 30 years. Usually plays Times Square. She tried out Broadway back in her youth. She didn't get into it, but then she realized that, well, my passion is music. And after she performed once in the subways with her brother, she understood, like, oh my God, I'm gonna keep doing this. It's so rewarding.
My love has come along.
And what a voice.
My lonely days are over. And life is long, oh so yeah.
What's the feeling that you get when a new piece of content, a new video of a street musician pops into your inbox?
Oh, that's that's the best feeling. It's like finding a diamond. It's so amazing how many talent human beings we have in this planet. And it's interesting to realize that there is a dialogue between the most far places. For example, there was a band in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia. They were playing like a 90s pop song from Brazil, you know? I was like, what? There was another one, a really fun one, in Helsinki. They were doing a percussion version of the Star Wars theme, you know, in the streets.
So music truly is an international language.
Yeah, for sure. It is so much fun. And this can be like so interesting for so many people.
Bound to be a big hit. Daniel Bacchieri, founder of StreetMusicMap, searching the world for musical talent from the streets.